There is nothing more damaging to your future than holding on to your past. Too many people live their lives trapped in a cycle of regret, constantly looking back at what could have been, what should have happened, or what they wish they had done differently. But the truth is, you cannot move forward while you are still chained to yesterday. You cannot embrace the new opportunities before you if your hands are still holding on to the past. Dwelling on the past comes in many forms. For some, it's the weight of mistakes they have made, decisions they regret, words they wish they could take back, paths they wish they had never walked. They replay those moments over and over, convincing themselves that they are defined by their worst choices. For others, it is the pain inflicted by someone else, a betrayal, a wound, an injustice that has left a scar on their heart. And because of that pain, they cannot seem to move forward. They remain stuck in bitterness, anger, or sorrow, reliving the hurt as if it happened just yesterday. But no matter what has happened in your past, one thing remains true. It does not have the power to define you unless you give it permission. Your past is not your identity. Your mistakes, your failures, even the things done to you, they are part of your story, but they are not the final chapter. The moment you stop looking back is the moment you can begin to step into the future that is meant for you. One of the most dangerous aspects of dwelling on the past is that it blinds you to the present. It steals your focus, consumes your thoughts, and robs you of the joy that is available right now. Think about how much time and energy people waste replaying old memories, regretting missed opportunities, or wishing things had been different. But what good does it do? Wishing will not change what has already happened. Regret will not rewrite the past. The only thing that truly matters is what you do next. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful ways to break free from the past. Forgiving others does not mean excusing their behavior or pretending the pain never happened. It means releasing the burden that is weighing you down. It means choosing to let go of resentment so that it no longer has control over your heart. Likewise, forgiving yourself is essential. You cannot move forward if you continue to condemn yourself for mistakes you can no longer change. Everyone has made wrong choices. Everyone has moments they wish they could take back. But dwelling on them does not bring healing. Only grace and growth do. There is something greater ahead of you than anything that lies behind. No matter how many times you have fallen, no matter how much you wish you could undo certain things, the truth is, today is a new day. You are not bound to your past unless you choose to be. The moment you decide to stop looking back is the moment you can finally begin walking forward. One of the greatest traps in life is living for the approval of others. From the time we are young, we are conditioned to seek validation. Whether from parents, teachers, friends, or society, we are taught to measure our worth by how much praise we receive, how many people accept us, or how well we fit into the expectations placed upon us. But the truth is, no matter how hard you try, you will never be able to please everyone. And the moment you realize that is the moment you can finally start living in true freedom. When you spend your life chasing approval, you are constantly at the mercy of other people's opinions. You allow their words, their judgments, and even their silence to determine your worth. If they praise you, you feel valued. If they criticize you, you feel defeated. If they ignore you, you wonder if you matter at all. But the problem with living this way is that people are inconsistent. One day they cheer for you and the next they forget about you. If your sense of worth is based on their approval, you will always be in a state of uncertainty, never truly secure, never truly at peace. The need for excuses are one of the greatest barriers to personal growth and success. They keep people stuck in the same place year after year, wondering why nothing is changing. The truth is, excuses are easy to make, but costly to live with. They provide temporary comfort, but long-term regret. Every time you make an excuse, you are giving yourself permission to stay the same instead of pushing yourself to grow. People have excuses for everything. Some blame their past, saying they can't change because of what they've been through. Others say they don't have enough time, enough money, or enough support. Some say they are too old to start over, while others say they are too young to be taken seriously. But if you listen closely, every excuse has one thing in common. It shifts responsibility away from the individual and onto external circumstances. It's always something or someone else that is standing in the way. But the truth is, the greatest obstacle in your life is not your past, your age, or your circumstances. It's the excuses you allow yourself to believe. Excuses can feel reasonable. After all, life is challenging and obstacles are real. But challenges are not the reason people stay stuck. excuses are. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not that one group had an easier path. It's that one group chose to push forward despite the challenges, while the other chose to let the challenges become their excuse. Making excuses may feel like a way to protect yourself from failure, but in reality, it only guarantees failure. When you say, "I can't," you are not only reinforcing a limiting belief, but you're also robbing yourself of the opportunity to try. No one has ever achieved anything great by making excuses. Every success story is built on perseverance, not perfection. It's not about having the perfect circumstances. It's about making the decision to rise above them. Excuses also steal time. Every moment spent justifying why something can't be done is a moment that could have been spent finding a way to do it. The more you delay, the harder it becomes to take action. Procrastination often begins with a simple excuse: "I'll do it later." But before you know it, years have passed and nothing has changed. The longer you wait, the more comfortable you become in your excuses, and the more difficult it becomes to break free from them. One of the most powerful things you can do is take ownership of your life. That means no longer blaming circumstances, no longer waiting for the perfect moment, and no longer allowing excuses to dictate your future. It means recognizing that while you may not be able to control everything that happens to you, you can always control how you respond. You can always take the next step forward, no matter how small. Growth requires discomfort. It requires stepping outside of what is easy and choosing what is necessary. And sometimes that means doing things even when you don't feel ready, even when you don't have all the answers, even when you are afraid. Excuses will tell you to wait until the fear is gone, but action is what removes fear. Excuses will tell you to wait for motivation, but discipline is what creates momentum. Excuses will tell you that you don't have what it takes, but the truth is everything you need is already within you. You just have to stop making excuses and start moving forward. You cannot change your life while holding on to excuses. They will always keep you where you are. If you want something different, you have to make different choices. Stop justifying inaction. Stop waiting for the right time. Stop telling yourself why you can't, and start proving to yourself that you can. The moment you stop making excuses is the moment your life begins to change. Fear is one of the most powerful forces that can hold you back from the life you were meant to live. It has the ability to paralyze your progress, limit your opportunities, and keep you from stepping into your full potential. Negativity is one of the most destructive forces in life, and if you allow it to take root in your mind, it will poison your thoughts, your emotions, and your outlook on life. Negative thinking can become a habit, one that shapes the way you see yourself, the way you interpret your circumstances, and the way you interact with others. It keeps you focused on problems instead of possibilities, setbacks instead of solutions, and doubts instead of hope. And the more you allow negativity to influence you, the harder it becomes to break free from its grip. Negativity often begins subtly. It starts with small complaints, frustrations, or disappointments that seem harmless at first, but over time, these thoughts become patterns, and before you realize it, negativity has taken over. You begin to expect the worst, assume failure, and anticipate disappointment. Instead of believing the good that could come, you brace yourself for bad outcomes. You become skeptical of opportunities, critical of others, and even doubtful of yourself. And what makes negativity so dangerous is that it doesn't just stay in your thoughts. It spills over into every area of your life. It affects your relationships, your confidence, your decisions, and ultimately your future. One of the biggest dangers of negativity is that it blinds you to the blessings in your life. When your mind is constantly focused on what's wrong, you fail to see what's right. You overlook the opportunities that are before you because you're too busy complaining about what didn't work out. You miss out on joy because you're too focused on frustration. You rob yourself of peace because you allow worry and doubt to consume your mind. Negativity steals your ability to be grateful. And without gratitude, you will never experience true contentment. Negativity is also contagious. When you surround yourself with people who are constantly complaining, criticizing, and focusing on the worst aspects of life, you will eventually adopt that mindset yourself. If you spend time with those who always see obstacles instead of opportunities, failures instead of lessons, and problems instead of potential, it won't be long before you start thinking the same way. That's why it is so important to guard your mind and be intentional about the voices you allow to influence you. If you want to live a life of hope, confidence, and joy, you must surround yourself with people who uplift, encourage, and inspire you. The truth is, negativity will never lead you to success, happiness, or peace. It only weighs you down, drains your energy, and keeps you from becoming the person you were meant to be. But the good news is that negativity is a choice. And just as easily as you can choose to dwell on negative thoughts, you can also choose to reject them. You can choose to focus on what is good, what is possible, and what is hopeful. You can choose to speak words of encouragement instead of criticism. You can choose to see challenges as opportunities rather than burdens. You can choose to believe in yourself rather than doubt your abilities. The key to overcoming negativity is to take control of your thoughts. Instead of allowing your mind to be filled with complaints and doubts, fill it with gratitude and possibility. Train yourself to recognize negative thinking when it arises and replace it with truth. Instead of saying, I can't, remind yourself, I will find a way. Instead of focusing on what's missing, focus on what you have. Instead of expecting failure, expect growth. The way you think determines the way you live. And if you want to change your life, you must first change your mindset. There is too much potential within you to waste your energy on negativity. Every day is an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to move forward. But negativity will keep you stuck, robbing you of the future you were meant to have. If you want to experience joy, success, and purpose, you must let go of negativity and embrace a mindset of faith, gratitude, and hope.